Morning, so I think we should go ahead and get started. My name is Yimin Shin. I'm a professor in the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, HKUST. I'm also Director of Bioengineering Graduate Program here. On behalf of HKUST, we welcome you to this campus. Before we officially start the program, let me first introduce our acting president, that is our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Professor Roland Chin, to give a few minutes welcome speech. Please join me to welcome Roland.
Welcome to Hong Kong UST and welcome to Hong Kong. I apologize that you have to get stuck in this room without a window, knowing that we have a beautiful campus. If we have windows in this lecture theater, no one will focus and concentrate for the next 3 days. So I would hope that the organizer will let you out once in a while to look at the sea view. And it's also a good thing under the current world crisis that we don't have to think about the stock market for 3 days and focus in science. It's very should be a very rewarding experience. Again, welcome to Hong Kong UST, and we're honored to host this 3-day conference. I'm not a life science person. I'm an engineer, so synthetic biology is a new field to me. I am very eager, excited to come and learn a few things from all the experts. My colleagues told me that a recent survey in the US found that 9 out of 10 people haven't even heard of this term before, synthetic biology. In Hong Kong, I'm sure that 99 out of 100 don't have a clue what synthetic biology is. And I'm glad to admit that I'm one of these 99 naive folks. So I walk into this conference very excited, like a student, very much want to learn from all of you. I have been talking to my colleagues to learn a little bit about what is synthetic biology. And they told me that this combined the knowledge from many disciplines, including computer science. I'm a computer scientist, engineers, etc., chemistry, and so on. I also learned from my colleagues that unlike other traditional area of science or technology, synthetic biology represents the wild, wild west of fiction-like science. This is how they describe to me. I've also learned from them that you can already recreate all the known viruses in the world, and you can redesign them to perform any functions. I don't know whether they are lying to me or that is the truth. I will find out from you guys. They also told me that you can create material that smell like banana. And you can produce synthesized material that produce hydrogen as a new source of energy. You can also design biofuel to wipe out the global warming situation. You can create new crops for food to wipe out the world hunger. You can create new species of animal and plants. So my colleagues told me that we should support them with funding and equipment and space. And they also told me that working in synthetic biology is like playing God. And for that, they suggested I should treat them like God. We have about 600 participants here in this conference. During the 2 days, we have 2 or 3 lecture theaters similar to this size with simultaneous broadcasts so that students and colleagues can enjoy all the talks. I'm also very excited to learn that some of our undergraduate students and high school students are also participated in events like this. Hong Kong UST is going to send a team of 8 undergraduates and 3 high school students to MIT this November to participate in the International Genetic Engineering Machine Competition led by Professor King Chow. He's somewhere here. Their project is to make, I was told, a randomized circuit in a single bacterial cell to capture the random biological events in the cell, and they call it gambling bacteria. They told me also that this is very useful for biocomputer and designing biological circuits. This afternoon roughly at 5 o'clock, I would like to announce that our Financial Secretary of Hong Kong, Mr. John Tsang, will attend this afternoon sections. I've seen him on TV in the past many days, solving the worldwide problem, especially the Hong Kong financial situation. And the fact that he can find time during this crisis to come and talk to us hopefully about economic and politics, that shows how important this conference is, and he will be here to talk to us. Again, I welcome all of you to Hong Kong and Hong Kong UST, and I wish you all success in this conference. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Drew Endy at Stanford Bioengineering Department and the BioBricks Foundation. I wanted to make some very quick remarks to welcome you to the Synthetic Biology 4.0 as it's part of the Synthetic Biology Conference series. A great community was started about 4 years ago with Synthetic Biology 1.0 at MIT. And for the first time, we found ourselves in a room not quite as big as this one with a community of folks who could celebrate the idea of let's get better at building biology. An absolutely incredible experience. And as we keep going forward, that element of our community is probably the most important thing to keep. SB2.0 moved over to Berkeley, and there we saw for the first time a lot of interaction between the foundational tools of synthetic biology and some of the applications, bioenergy in particular, and all the promises and controversies that are associated with that. Then we went to Zurich, and the folks in Europe for the first time hosted an amazing meeting, bringing together the communities that had gotten started in North America and elsewhere with part of the rest of the world. Here we are today, SB4.0 in Hong Kong, the first time the meeting's been in Asia, and a wonderful opportunity for all of us to continue to build our community. The BioBricks Foundation is a not-for-profit organization that's been helping with the organization of the Synthetic Biology Conference Series. And it seems a little bit weird to have a not-for-profit called the BBF, the BioBricks Foundation, being involved with this conference. And so I want to explain that and then ask for your help as you might consider where the Synthetic Biology Conference Series is going beyond Hong Kong. The BBF is a small nonprofit. We've got a bunch of members and lawyers and technologists who are trying to help make biology easy to engineer. Some of the people who are leaders of the BBF are shown here. Tom Knight, Pam Silver, Chris Voigt, David Graywall, and so on. Lauren Ha, in particular, as the managing director of the BBF, did a tremendous amount of work to bring us all here with her other colleagues leading the organization of the meeting. At the end of the day, the BBF is not a conference organization. Our goal is to make a free library of BioBrick parts so that everybody can have an open technology platform of genetic functions to build whatever you want. So what are we doing with this meeting? Well, it turns out that this problem, our goal, is pretty hard. How do we make this collection? So we spend a lot of time and effort on a legal framework, on open technical standards, and maybe some of you have participated in that via the online discussions. We have a lot of workshops, technical and legal workshops. So if you're coming to iGEM in Boston in November, on November 10th, right after iGEM, there'll be a BBF workshop on legal and technical standards. But most of all, what we depend on is a community of people who are celebrating and contributing and using these open BioBrick parts. And so that's where we feel that there's some compatibility and consistency in hosting and helping to organize meetings like this. So if I come back to SB 4.0, remembering the spirit of the conference series, starting with SB1, what's this meeting about? What's it for? There are already some interesting press releases coming out. So it could be that it's synthetic biology for science, for technology, for fun. Apparently you can make E. coli smell like bananas. For profit, for love, for diversity. Maybe you could make more biological diversity instead of destroying it. For equity, fairness, or stock options. For humanity. We're having a lot of fun here, but the technology is unbelievably important and powerful and just getting started. And so it's something that we can all consider. In coming to Hong Kong, one of the things that's been amazing is the help that we've had. And what I'd like to do is introduce one of the lead folks who have helped bring us to Hong Kong, a fellow named Jack Wadsworth. I met Jack for the first time when I came off a plane about 5 in the morning, and we went to a meeting. And we went to a meeting with a leading business person in Hong Kong trying to develop some support for this meeting. And not having met Jack before, we sat down in the room, and at the table, Jack says, well, we're here to ask you for some support for this conference that's coming up next year in Hong Kong, and it's going to be on synthetic biology, and so far as I can tell, this is like recombinant DNA meets the personal computer. Did I get that right, Drew? And I said, who is this guy? Well, that turns out to be Jack. So Jack is a banker, and he's on the UCSF Foundation, helping that organization. He's also a leader in investment via Chaiwan Ventures, and he retired as managing director of Morgan Stanley Asia. So just a tremendous set of experiences, and in coming here has really helped us to both identify Hong Kong and the community within Hong Kong that might, beyond this meeting, leave behind a legacy that helps Asia, via Hong Kong and elsewhere, contribute to the world of synthetic biology. So Jack, if I could ask you to come up and give us some real quick perspectives, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Drew. There's absolutely nothing like an introduction that says everything you had planned to say. But it occurred to me as I was walking over here, since investment bankers are now obsolete, that through the science that we will be talking about in the next 3 days, I'm going to come back as a bioengineer next time. Drew is right. We came to Hong Kong. I became absolutely fascinated with this science through my affiliation with UCSF and my meeting a man named Reg Kelly, who most of you know, who runs QB3 in San Francisco. And having lived through a number of very major changes in our society, in our business communities, and in the way we think about the world, and I go back to the semiconductor, I think about genetic engineering, I think about the internet. As the acting president said, I was not that long ago one of the 9 out of 10 people in the United States who did not know what synthetic biology was. But having now discovered, I think, what it is, I am passionate about its potential to change the world. I really think, as a venture capitalist, as an investor, who thinks about economics, it is one of those things on the horizon that can really change the way we think. So I am delighted to have had a small role in helping to organize this conference and getting the support of UST, of the Hong Kong government, and a number of important industrialists and tycoons in Hong Kong. I think this is terribly important, not only for the world, but for Asia. And to me, it's not an accident that the first Asian conference happens in Hong Kong. This is the place that Milton Friedman, and I'm a University of Chicago graduate, although the free market types are also becoming a little bit obsolete this morning. This is the open community, the open economy of Asia. So welcome all of you to this conference. I'm delighted to be a part of it, and you'll hear a little bit more from me about economics and business when John Sung and I talk later this afternoon. So let me hand it over to Chris, who will actually get us to work. Chris.
Great. Thank you, Jack. And welcome to Synthetic Biology 4.0. It's been great fun to help organize it. We've had a great local committee that's helped us with it. So there are 3 groups that I'd like to thank for making this possible. The first is the community. The vast majority of the sessions that will take place on Saturday and Sunday came out of requests from the community, so we hope that you all go to those sessions and actively participate. The second group that I'd like to thank is the QB3 program at the University of California. This involves the campuses of San Francisco, Berkeley, and Santa Cruz. And without them, we wouldn't have been able to make the connections in Hong Kong that have made all of this possible. The third group that I need to thank are the UST folks, the local organizing committee. This is Ying Chow and Aiming Singh and King Chow. And they've really put on this wonderful conference and helped us with all of the details. So with that, I'll introduce King Chow, who has a number of announcements. One of the things that I think will be particularly special is that 2 of the most famous Cantonese opera singers happen to be doing a performance in the main atrium has nothing to do with our conference, but I think it'll be something very interesting to see. So with that, King.
Thanks, Chris. I would like to see whether they are here. I need to introduce a few people. First, the person who helped organize everything, Lauren. And our local team, thanks, Chris, for praising us for doing all the work. In fact, we didn't. And there will be a person, Crystal. Is Crystal around? If you don't see her now, you see her. It's a small lady, but she's very capable, more than you can imagine, right? So she will be around, and if you come across any problem, make sure to let her and Lauren know, so we'll try as much as possible that will help. So without further delay, I'll pass the podium to the section chair of our coming up section.
I'm Pam Silver, member of the BBF, and I just want to say a few words about the spirit of the meeting before we get started, and I won't take away too much of your time. It's really been exciting organizing this meeting, but I want you to feel like this is really your meeting. This is not the traditional, you're going to sit here and listen to a bunch of lectures. You are the meeting, and we have purposely organized this meeting for you to participate. And some of the best parts of this meeting will not be happening in this lecture hall, but will in fact be happening outside or in the breakout sessions. Remember that many of the breakout sessions are what you suggested to us. So not only will you experience a lot of great science here, but what we really want you to do is define this field, move it forward, and I especially want to welcome the students here. You are the future of this field, so please participate, ask questions, be engaged in this meeting. This is your meeting. It's about you. So thank you for coming.